The decluttering is a doorway.
Okay.
Minimalism to me is simply a doorway. It's a step to self-discovery, to deeper purpose. It's fun. It feels good to kind of donate a bunch of clothing or donate things that are nice for other people. And there's a good sense of sort of, oh, this feels light and productive to do this. But that's not the point. It's what comes after that. As you do that, we redefine ourselves and take back control of our intention, our purpose, our goals, our like vision, right? And so, yes, to your point, minimalism is like, it's a beautiful first step, and it's a beautiful way to capture people because it's actionable, right?
Yeah.
You can just say, okay, hey, go find 10 articles of clothing that you haven't worn in over a year, put them in a bag, take it to a local shelter or take it to a local donation center. It's actionable. You have more room in your closet. All of a sudden you're like, oh, that feels kind of good. It's a doorway, right? And then all of a sudden you start thinking about things like, what else could I be doing? How else could this space be serving, again, me and the people I love? And the people I love is not just my family and friends, but it's like people in the world, right? So it gets deeper. And I think minimalism is an incredibly fundamental, incredibly important lens to start that journey and to continue it. Yeah.
I really resonate with that because I feel like also a point in my life where I'm getting to that point where I should make bigger decisions and getting rid of a lot of things that I currently have in my life. And I think that will be definitely a process that I will, in the next months, will go through. Just starting to get rid of stuff. Physical at first, but then also at least stripping away everything that doesn't matter to me in the long term and just doing and focusing on the things that really matter. It's gonna be it's scary already.
It's good. It's good to be a little afraid. It's good. It's a good thing. And to add on to that, the most valuable aspect of minimalism is the decluttering. So like if you could snap your fingers and just have it all done and you just live in whatever that vision of a clutter-free life is, it would not hold even 10% of the value of if you go through the process, hold stuff. I don't know. I'm holding my mouse right now. I don't know why, but hold something and go, is this serving me? Is this serving others? Is this, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's making that decision that makes you stronger, that builds your resolve. It makes you more confident as a person, as a decision maker. When you hold something and go, is this actually serving me in the way that I thought it was? Because that's how you grow. You build the muscle. And as you build that muscle, you come out the other end like stronger in your sense of self and who you are without this other stuff, without the influence of advertisements telling you like the way to get the girl is this thing. And like the cologne will make you the kind of man you want to be. Like you become stronger in this as opposed to that.
To depending on something exterior. Yeah.
So I will say I'm most excited for you if you are getting into this process now, because it's a beautiful thing and it's scary and it's fun and it's enlightening and it's just part of the path to this wonderful life.
Yeah. It's because personally I never felt like I need a lot of stuff. You know, I don't personally to travel, the best case scenario for me is like a backpack and let's go. Mm-hmm. And like very low budget, and I love that because I think it's more about the experience and it's not about how much you can carry. And I like to be free, and now I'm taking that more to the next level, I would feel like. And again, I think this varies from person to person. Like some people just naturally need more stuff, and like what were you saying, it's they need to manage their own inventory of items and what they carry with them on so I wanted to explore this a little bit more because of the intentional living and minimalism, and because you do Break the Twitch full time, correct?
With some filmmaking in there too, yeah.
Okay, and because you had to leave your job to start doing this, or at least slowly transition into breaking the Twitch. Was it minimalism also helping you do that, like identifying that this is something that I really love and I want to invest more time, and this is the things that I really feel like are important to me? How was that transition? Was it also gradual, or was like decision and let's do this full time?
It was a combination of multiple things. I will say that when I left my job after 3 years, I was the marketing director of a bike company and of a bike share company. I don't know if you're familiar with like the bike vending machines, basically, where you get to rent a bike for a while and then put it back in the dock.
Yeah, okay. Like from the city hall, or okay,
yep.
Okay.
All over. You can get, sometimes there's like City Bike in New York, and we had something called Nice Ride. That's where I worked.
Okay.
And when I left there, it was, I think, a big chunk of it was because I was ready to leave and do something else. But I had started Break the Twitch about a year earlier. So I knew that I had this passion, this interest in exploring the Twitch and wanting to do it more. And it was there for me when I left and didn't know quite what else to do. So between my wife and I and our home and all the stuff and the figuring out of how to make it all work, we've sort of just made it work. Would I go back and, well, I wouldn't change anything, but would I right now recommend to my 3-year or 2-year younger self and go, oh yeah, take the leap, just go full force into it, it'll be fine? I wouldn't say that. But I started a filmmaking career. I started shooting videos for other entrepreneurs and doing some commercial film stuff, in addition to Break the Twitch, which has supplemented sort of my YouTube videos and how I make things. So it's all been sort of along a similar path. But I wouldn't necessarily say I'm quitting because I see this huge opportunity in this thing and I'm going to make it work. I think everything is a transition. It's a crossfade. It's like one thing kind of goes down, the other one comes up at the same time. And even now, with the book and all these things, I'm exploring how I can do Break the Twitch even more from just sort of not have to take commercial clients, which I've been basically not doing recently, and just focus on this stuff. So, yeah. So yes, it helps. It does help. Minimalism helps with all this stuff. But when I quit, I wasn't like raring to go. I wasn't, I didn't quite know what this was all going to look like.
Yeah. So yeah, from this question, you know already what I'm thinking. So yeah. So yeah, more about the book. So it's coming out 3rd of November, correct? Or pre-order?
So pre-orders start early November here, and it's actually, I think it's going to be the 15th instead of the 3rd, just because we have a bit of a delay with the cover, but. So it'll be November 15th, and the book will release. It'll go live December 6th. So it'll be out fully, just to be ordered, and that'll be coming out. So pretty soon here, we're coming up on it. Okay.
Can I order it here to come to Europe, or is it only US?
Oh yeah. Well, there's I'll have an audiobook and a digital version. So absolutely, you can get all the stuff.
Yes. Yeah. So the book is basically agglomeration of the thoughts that you've been putting already in Break the Twitch.
Yes, it's essentially it's a shorter book, but it's a very condensed, like kind of to the point with some stories and then also very actionable takeaways. So everything basically I've learned over the last 3 years of writing about, making videos about the Twitch, and I've taken all of that, condensed it into one format that you can experience through the book, and tried to just make it as helpful as possible so that people can read it and go, okay, here are the things that I can do right now to help spend less time on my phone, to spend less time trying to organize my life, and start doing more that actually aligns with what I want to be doing creatively, what I want to be outputting, and getting into that flow state more often when we don't have constant distractions running our lives.
Okay, so sounds perfect to me then. I'll definitely get that one. And
awesome.
You referred to creativity, and I asked on Instagram. Well, I wasn't procrastinating this time. I asked my viewers like if they had any question about habits or creativity, and someone asked, how do you keep creative? How do you keep that constant flow of ideas and just don't get to the page and get stuck? I feel like that's a little bit part of the process, but I want to see your opinion on it.
Yeah, I know that feeling. It's the discomfort. Getting to the page when it's empty, it's the worst part of my day. And basically I've structured Break the Twitch as a solution to that exact problem. Minimalism, habits, creativity. So the first step, minimalism, minimize distractions. So the first step is to sort of turn off your notifications, hide your phone, remove, like, if you keep getting pulled to Twitter or whatever, you got to sit there is the point. You have to sit there on the blank page and not allow yourself to get pulled away, because on the other side of that discomfort is your creativity. So that's the first step. Second step is habits. So the essence of habits is showing up every day. So it means you have to sit down with a blank page, find if it's writing, the minimum number of words per day or time per day. I like words though, a word count. Okay. What's the minimum number of words that you will absolutely do? So for people that are starting out, I recommend sit down and commit to doing 50 words a day. All right. So this is nothing. It's it would take 2 minutes. Yeah. It's a few sentences, but do it every day, because what happens is when you're ready, you go to 100 words a day. And it feels easy because you've built that muscle, just like the decision muscle for decluttering and deciding what it is we want in our life, what we don't. That same muscle is applied to the habit of showing up every day and just getting used to that discomfort of the blank page and sitting in it until stuff starts coming out. Suffering through it. Because it's easy to pull away and twitch and just, it feels good to check Facebook. Don't have to stare at this awful blank page right now. So remove the distractions, show up every day at a level that feels easy, and then you increase it. And then the last step, creativity. I mean, that is essentially the idea of creating opportunities. It's connecting the dots. Because if you don't have words on the page, you can't connect the dots. A sculptor needs to have clay on the table to start shaping a head, right? You can't hold, have clay in a bucket and look at your table and go, oh yeah, that's what the head looks like. Raised, you're not going to do anything. Yeah. So that's where that last part comes into play, is the idea of creative flow. Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi is the father of kind of like positive psychology and the idea of flow, creative flow. Amazing book. I think it's called Finding Flow by Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. And it's all about creative output and what happens when we get lost in our work in the most positive way possible. It's what happens when we lose our sense of time, when we get into a somewhat complex, a challenging puzzle, but we just get lost in it because it's like the right kind of effort. We have a goal in mind, and you just get into it. So what you'll find is that if you allow yourself to get over the hump, that first bump of the discomfort, you find yourself getting closer to a flow state. And once you hit that flow state, it just goes. Like the days that I would find a creative flow, I'd write 2,000 words instead of 500. Because it just goes and you get lost and you don't care. But it's every day. I literally have, this is my one tattoo. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
So that's the creative flow curve there.
Okay.
It is the every day pushing that rock over the hill and seeing if it keeps rolling. But we have to get it up there. And that's just that focus. So that is my solution for how you can be creative every day.
You just need to suffer a lot until
Yep.
But it's the realistic, and I love that advice because it's real stuff. I mean, it's every time I suffer through that too. From the moment I have an idea for a video, for example, until I click upload, there's a lot of those moments, and it kind of helps me to get that flow state, so it's part of it, and it gets easier and easier, but still very, very hard. And, so yeah, thank you. That's a very nice answer.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'll say that we can start wrapping things up, and at the end, I will always ask a question or some questions, and say that. So the first question is: what is the thing that you currently are struggling with? The thing that you feel like you need to go through that hoop to get to where you want to. Is it breaking the Twitch? Is it now this book that's coming out? Probably there's a lot of big things there.
Yeah, I think it's always something. Struggling is a somewhat loaded word, just because it's like feels very negative. But I think struggle is a good thing. It's a positive thing because it means we're growing, we're learning new things, we're doing stuff. So inherently, I'm always struggling with something, and so I would say, as you said, the book. This is the first time I've written and launched a book. In order to write the book, I had to block social media from my computer. I went to a cafe. I had a very isolated experience. And now that I'm back into the normal sort of existence of daily life, I have to now launch the book and get it out to as many people as possible. And there are deadlines for it and things like that. But it's a lot of moving parts all at once. So that's something that I'm kind of new to in terms of getting this book out there and sharing it with people in my audience and doing all that. So that's kind of something. And just like anything else, the Twitch hops into stuff that feels productive maybe, but it's not really that helpful. Tweeting a thing sometimes helps, but it's always I don't know. I think it's a constantly expanding journey of figuring this stuff out.
It's quite nice that we talked about minimalism, and also that depends on the person, because now you wrote the book and it's done, and now you kind of need to switch, and now you need to promote the book. So you not need to go back to social media and actually do the work. And it's work, and it's not the Twitch, because it's the intent that matters. And it's like a duality between content creation is those two hats that we have to wear.
And I think that's the best way to do it is put on a hat and wear it for a while and then take it off and have very distinct sort of like roles and how like this is my fun hat. And right now I'm going to go for a run and go to the park and play basketball or do whatever it is that like you are productive in fun. And then you put on your other hat and then you do that as opposed to like half sort of messing around, half working, so
not doing anything
and not really getting anything done.
Done. It's so funny. So what's the thing again? I got now the opposite. What's the thing that you find that you are better, or like in terms of skills, or in terms of the way the mindset that you feel like you have that thing down and you want to pass that on to the viewers, people watching, or loved ones, the thing that, like, your lesson, the thing that you, until this point, you identify that is very important in terms of the way you think?
What's one of the mindset type things, or
sorry,
or what? No, it's okay. Yeah,
rephrase it. Yeah, the thing that you identify, that the way you think, or your mindset, that you really want to pass that on to others.
Picking one is tough. Or trying to summarize it, I guess. Maybe it's simply just that we can choose more than we think, and we have everything to gain from choosing and really making conscious decisions about these things in our lives. And much of what we think is a necessity isn't necessarily. It's kind of vague, but
no, definitely hits home. So yeah, that's it. Thank you, Anthony, for coming on the show. Really appreciate you accepting, and it's been awesome to speak with you. And I will be promoting the book also, just to help help out and divide the Twitch amongst us.
Thank you. I really do appreciate you having me, and it's it's a pleasure. I'm looking forward to talking to you more as well.
Cheers. So yeah, guys, thank you. And that's Anthony from Break the Twitch. Go check it out, YouTube, and now the book, when it comes out, I will be tweeting about it, and yeah, you guys let you know that it's coming out. So thank you. So see you.